Spooky, haunted, and supernatural. Welcome to this year's matinee performance of Paranormal Paranoia, the Haunted Trestle Bridge.
Not so fast. Before the play, Border Troubadours has a few pre-show specials. Bill Morgan will do a spectacular reading of El Muerto, a South Texas legend.
And don't forget about Susie Whip taking us to the dark and creepy swamp as she reads the Irish poet Thomas More's famous ballad, The Lake of the Dismal Swamp.
But wait, what about us? The audience is waiting.
Well then let's get on with it. Welcome to Border Troubadours game show, Who Said It?
We're going to ask all of you, who said it?
Who said what?
Who said what we're going to read to the audience?
Who's on third?
No, nothing like that. You and I will read a quote from a play, poem, story, or movie. And then the audience, you guys will get to check the cheat sheet if you don't know who said it, and shout out the name to win a door prize.
Well, sounds simple enough. Let's get started.
Okay, first one. Who said? There are three things I have learned never to discuss with people: religion, politics, and the drink.
Who said it? That's it, right here.
Right where, I got a door prize. Who is it who said it?
Great.
Okay. And next, who said everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody? Who said that? Let me read it one more time. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. It's a conspiracy. Who said it? No. Somebody, you might know the name of the film as opposed to the name.
There you go. There you go. Max Denison, the movie Hocus Pocus. Here comes our prize lady. Over there. Okay, now we're on a roll. Man, we got some more.
Okay, I will stop wearing black. Who said this? I'll stop wearing black when they make a doctor color.
There you go. This is Lindsay Adams back there, back row.
Okay.
I'm just gonna load up.
Okay. All caught up. And who do you think said this? This one's really good.
Who said, I've seen enough horror movies to know that any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly?
Somebody said
Somebody
Elizabeth?
said it.
That's it. Elizabeth.
Look at that.
Why did the first 8 parts stick?
Did you guys actually say it? He said it.
Come on, Joey. That was a tough one. Nobody's going to answer that.
Did you say it back here?
Well, you're right, but this
Back here.
is our job, and we have to keep going. Everyone will relate to this quote, short and sweet.
Who said, we're all mad here?
You heard it right, we're all mad here.
Lewis Carroll. Oh, right here.
Lewis Carroll.
Let's get along.
Lewis Carroll. Alice in Wonderland.
Here you go.
Okay, we can ask some more questions, right? We got
Yeah,
some more prizes?
We're good, I said, sure. Audience, how about it? Who said it?
Who said what?
Not this again. No. Obviously, we are asking who said it. Let's just keep going.
Who said, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked
Oh.
this way come?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Here.
Shakespeare, over there.
You are a brilliant, brilliant audience. You've been doing a great job. We have a few more we can ask. What is this one?
What is what?
What is the answer? Who said it?
I don't understand.
There is nothing to understand. We just keep asking, who said it?
Do you believe this? After 52 years of marriage, I still can't get a straight answer.
Who said there are nights when the wolves are silent and only the moon howls?
No.
Oh,
More recent.
over here, we got it. Oh, no, wait.
You know the answer to your own question.
Okay, let's see. Somebody gave you the answer again, only the moon howls, and the answer was
George
Yes.
Carlin, right here.
okay.
She can have another one.
Okay, one more. Let's do one more. This will be the last one, and it is kind of a trick.
Who said there's no free candy tomorrow?
First name was Adam. Adam LaVoy, there you go. Yeah. And why was that a trick?
Because it wasn't anyone famous?
Not famous?
No, it's Cindy
Comanche raiders. The Texas Rangers provided law and order. They chased outlaws, savages, murderers, criminal desperados, horse thieving culprits, cattle rustlers, and worst of all, border troubadours. One day while Creed Taylor was out chasing Comanche raiders, Vidal, also known as Vidal, a well-known Mexican bandito, stole some of his prized Mustangs. Taylor and a neighboring rancher by the name of Morgan were quick to get on their trail. Along the way, they met Bigfoot Wallace and the three-tracked Vidal, his bandits, and the horses. When the three caught up with the outlaws, somehow it was not enough just to kill them. They wanted to set an example and send a message to future thieves. So Creed and Wallace beheaded Vidal. They fixed his sombrero to the severed head, tied it so it dangled on the side of the horse. His torso was set upright upon a wild Mustang and set on its merited way. Before long, stories began to surface about a headless horseman riding through remote sections of South Texas. Because Texas was predominantly Spanish-speaking at the time, the phenomenon was called El Muerto, the dead one. Eventually, a group of ranchers captured the pony near Alice, Texas, where they removed Vidal's skeletal remains for burial. The end, perhaps? No way. After the burial, in 1917, a couple near Frisco, Texas, camping beside their covered wagon, reported seeing a headless rider speed by on a gray horse. And in '69, a sighting was reported near Freer, Texas. Needless to say, both Creed and Wallace had seen more than enough death. They had plenty of occasions to see ghosts. So, whether you do or do not believe in them, they nevertheless created one ghoulish, gruesome, spine-chilling ghost for the ages with the Headless Horseman, El Muerto.
My friend, Thomas Moore, asked me to come to Land Lakes, Ely Church. Am I in the right spot? And the reason of my presence here this afternoon is to give you a rendering of the ballad of the Dismal Swamp. It was written by Thomas Moore with his memory of a young couple. Very much in love. So do you, in Land O'Lakes, have any dismal swamps? Maybe nice swamps. You tell me later. The ballad, The Lake of the Dismal Swamp, goes like this. They made her a grave so cold and damp for a soul so warm and true. And she's gone to the lake of the Dismal Swamp, where all night long, by firefly lamp, the maid in a cypress tree when the footstep of death is near. Away to the dismal swamp he speeds. His path was rugged and sore, through tangled juniper beds of reeds, through many a fen where a serpent feeds, and man never trod before. And when on the earth he sank to sleep, if slumber his eyelids knew, he lay where the deadly vine doth weep. Its venomous tear and nightly steep the flesh with the blistering dew, and near him the she-wolf stirred the brake, and the copper snake breathed in his ear, till he, starting, cried from his dream awake. Oh, when shall I see the dusky lake and the white canoe of mine dear? He saw the lake and a meteor bright, quick over its surface played. Welcome, he said, my dear one's light. And the dim shore echoed for many a night the name of the deaf-cold maid, till he hollowed a boat of the birchen bark, which carried him off from the shore. Far, far he followed the meteor spark, for the wind was high and the clouds were dark, and the boat returned no more. But oft from the Indian hunter's camp, this lover and maid so true are seen at the hour of midnight damp to cross the lake by a firefly lamp and paddle their white canoe. I have to go now.
Stalled under this train trestle bridge.
Come on, Will. Why are we stalled out like this? The car just stopped, and you can't...
No, Annie, I can't start it up. Why did I come this way tonight? Too many weird things happen under this train trestle bridge.
You know this is never a good idea to go this way, especially at night. The stories are endless.
I'm not buying into all that, just hearsay. Wow, the radio! Just loud static. Did you turn it on?
No, I did not. But I can't turn it off. Try start the car again. Didn't you just get an oil change and everything last week? It's so dark.
And the radio's gone. Suddenly no sound.
baby. Start the car. Just start it.
I do hear a baby. Finally, let's get out of here.
I can't stop thinking about it, Will. Why would there be a baby crying on top of a trestle bridge?
Okay, it's finally dark. Let's get out and walk up the top of the hill.
Are you sure about this? Feeling a little bit paranoid.
We're just gonna look down the tracks here. See what we can see.
Well, I know what I see. Oh. A light? I don't care about some old light, Jimmy. I don't care about any of this paranormal stuff. They're just crazy ghost stories, if you ask me.
Here we are, what's left of the track, but I don't know which way we're supposed to look. You know, they say her husband is looking for her, his wife, and the baby. People are saying the light is the lantern, lighting his way to find him.
Whoa. You're sure spooking me here, with all this chatter about dead people, turning into ghosts and scaring the bejesus out of me. So let's see. This woman runs up that darn hill and stops a train coming right at her. And she's got a baby with her. Sounds believable.
That's what I've heard my whole life, Scotty. There was a couple, and they had a farm, and they had a bunch of horses tied up in the barn, and the fire broke out. And she was scared for her husband. He was yelling to her to run for help. She ran for help, screaming and waving her arms for the train to stop and help her.
And as the story goes, that train killed her. And the babe. Damn sad story, Jimmy.
And her husband was killed too, trying to save every last one of those horses. He paid dearly for them.
So, he comes out here searching and looking for his family. This is creeping me out, man. I gotta tell you. What are we doing here?
Kind of a destination spot, like this place from Michigan, Alden. People have all kinds of stories about the light. Maybe it's a conductor from the train, like an apparition. Some say that light is the reflection of party lights.
Or the ghost of a railroad worker who died while trying to switch the tracks. Nice light. Doesn't matter what it is, because, you know, everybody who goes up to Paulding sees light. Maybe everyone says they see it because they got to keep the legend of the light going. You know, peer pressure. So everyone says they see it so that you see it.
But back to this here thing. I'm looking up and down, and I don't see any kind of lantern. No light, no silhouette of a man. Here's Scott, what was that? Did you hear something?
Did you hear that scream? I'm out of here.
Adrian Midland, sister. Spending my life at Sierra Heights University, I am very familiar with apparitions. I can attest that the local cemetery and nearby catacombs are the center of paranormal activity. Things that go whoosh on a moonlit night. The brush of fingertips on the back of the neck. The brush of fingertips all over. The silhouette of a girl outside. This gnarly old tree. She is there. She is not. Oh, the wind suddenly gusts, leaves wildly whirling dervish spin. Unexpected silence. It is too still. Anything might happen. Run! The nuns are gone now for many years. I remain with a few others. I create interest for a local folk who tell tales to the tourists who seek me out. The door of dorm room 211 opens and closes on its own, even when locked. The carpenter comes with a level. No reason for the door to swing like that. No reason he could think of. A ghost occasionally walks across the room. A ghost, and I tell Sister Mary Frances, who likes to rein in her ambition to frighten people. That's not the thing to do. The nuns can be heard walking the hills at night. I'm sure nobody hears that. Those of us trapped between the earthly life and the next find that bit quite entertaining. No nuns have lived for many years. Their walkers, however, can be heard scraping across the road. Oh, you hear that? I believe that is Sister Mary Teresa singing her favorite Irish lullaby. Two unexpected points of light are sometimes seen on the walls of the nuns' living room, where we read the daily obituaries. We all wonder, when artists will be listed? I believe Sister Mary Frances reads the spells are the source. She looks down. She looks up. Who would ever think of that? I tell myself, Sister Mary Adele, can't you leave? Their earthly home isn't yours anymore. Maybe I'm here to lead you to their story. Maybe my story will open your mind, your heart, your spirit to acceptance of their story. All is never what it seems to be on the surface. Today, you listen to a strangely fascinating, frightening story. The tragic story of Bridget, Patrick, and their baby. The paths escape. Great Britain. No, Killian wouldn't think of it. The British do nothing for us.
they give us no aid. The Irish Catholics of Ireland, tenant farmers, already poor and famished, dependent on that potato for our sustenance. No help. We won't go to that island where they hate us. But Canada, we talked about Canada. But for Killian, it is America. This new land of hope will be our destination and salvation. Killian's brother, Michael, and wife, dear Maeve, are already there in Boston. Michael and Maeve are Killian's hope and all he talks about. Killian is my hope. My hope is that we just live through this. How can I tell him of this new babe? We must leave soon so this little one can be born someplace other than this God-forsaken, starving country.
There it is. You're a dying dead. All around us. The stories come from afar. The potatoes. Rotten. We call it the big hunger. A gorkamore. Nothing to eat. There has never been much. The biggers follow the road and are moved to the side. Or we walk right by them. We have no energy to bury our own dead. Ireland. Toolaluralura. Mother Ireland. I should have left with Michael. He moved after the second failed harvest. The blight, they call it. The potatoes in the field are black and rotten. All of them diseased. Starving we are. A starving poor country with the likes of nobody to help. The crown laughs in our face. It is anger and such fear that we have. Get out! Ah, Saoirse, it has come to this. Michael has sent enough for passage for the Garrick. God help us. I believe you are with child.
I sent Killian passage for the Garrick. If it is God's will, they will survive that terrible journey with the sick, the dying, and the dead, as if you'd never left the shores of Ireland. Steerage class on that coffin ship, that filthy ship with no food fit for the likes of any man, woman, or child. That filthy ship with no fresh water, carrying the typhus. God, are you hearing me? Boston. If they can make it to Boston, they can live in the squalor and the poverty with Maeve and me. We'd be together in a place that doesn't want us, hates us, Irish Catholics. They want to keep us down, struggling and hungry. Boston. But we'd be together. I promise to help them, God, if you just let them survive. Now we know that Killian and Saoirse had their wee Bridget, and Maeve and me, we had our boy Colin to provide for. Killian and I are Kearney men, and I swear by all that is Irish that we will not be the first Kearney men to let our families down.
are here to keep us down. No different than how the British treated us. But Killian and Sinisha are here. Oh, but we can hardly breathe in this tiny room, and the summer will all but kill us. These tents, where we, the downtrodden, dirty Irish, are forced to live. Saoirse gave birth on that hopeless ship. Did you know? They call it the coffin ship for all the dying. If you don't die on the ship, you die of the tuberculosis after. Oh, but Saoirse had her sweet, tiny lass, Bridget. Saoirse chose her name well. Bridget has strength and power in those tiny limbs. She will live. And in that is my hope for all of us. Michael and I have our young Colin. He is tender with little Bridget. He has 4 years now, and such a good boy. Happy to be by my side, or his dog. And Michael, hardly bringing home enough to put a bit of food in our mouths or pay the rent. Rent for what? God forbid a match isn't extinguished. The whole building will go up, and we will have no way out. Oh, to have me own cottage, to sew me own lace, to work in the field, to be clean. Oh, I'm but dreaming for a life that was going to kill us. Alive. Alive. Killian and Michael will keep us alive.
Growing up Catholic Irish in Boston, what a burden for us. Scraping a living and always looking out for the next fight. Ma says to turn the other cheek, but Da says it is only the boxing and teaching the other lad a lesson that I get respect and make it through. Between Da and Uncle Killian, we've done better than some. Our families are still together, but I don't want to stay here. I can't abide the way we are treated. It's supposed to be fair here. A man getting a decent wage for the work he puts in. But the wages are unfair. We're still the dirty old Irish. Da and Uncle Killian, Ma too, are all saying it's not as bad as it used to be. But me? I've got to get out, away from Boston and all the name-calling that goes with it. I want to breathe some fresh air, to see the sky, maybe have a chance at something better. Da says he and Uncle Killian have a cousin who left 5 years alone now. Went out to a place far west in Michigan. Da says Sean can help me out, give me a place to stay, and get me work at the wire fence factory. Sean says the wire fencing is going all over the world. He says a man can get a start, and if he works hard, he can make his way up. Sean and I aren't the only Irishmen to go out there.
Now, you are beginning to see the story that is taking shape. Adrian, Michigan was growing after that nasty war between the states. The North was industrializing, and it's true that there was a factory making wire fencing. Demand was great for this fencing, and Adrian was the biggest manufacturer in the whole world. A funny thing, it was that all the hate for the Irish didn't make it a long distance to Adrian. Colin had a chance to make a living. Afraid to last, start a family, get a great job. He was fortunate to have Sean, really, to put a good word in at the plant. And they had a place to stay. Family was everything. And Sean would do anything to help Colin. Not that this was a picnic in the park. Getting out west cost money. Travel was hard, the work even harder. If you had grit, determination, and luck, you could have a better life. Better yet, if you had Maeve and Saoirse saying the rosary for you every day, you could count on the luck of the Irish. Colin came from a long line of hard workers. He would do fine. As you will see, he is ready to lend a helping hand to anyone.
I've never had a fancy for any boy. I tell you that much. But Patrick is someone different. I've been seeing him at church on Sundays for months. Finally, I could not stand it anymore and asked Colin if he would find out who he was. Patrick, a fine, upstanding name, like our patron saint of Ireland. I could not help but looking at him, so tall and handsome, caught me at it, then he'd be stealing the glasses too. A few months ago, he went right up to Don with his hat in his hand to ask him if he could walk with me, Bridget. Da held his hand up like he was going to tell him to go away, but that wasn't it. Da said that he would ask around about him, and Patrick would get his answer next Sunday. Da found out that Patrick's mom and Da came to Boston as we did, escaping the famine. Patrick was the middle of the 3 O'Malley lads, and he had some schooling. He could read and write. Da liked that. Patrick was working steady and not a fighting lad. Da was pleased with that too. He was at church every Sunday. After a bit, Da said that Patrick could walk me home after church, but he would be walking behind us. After a bit, Da said that Patrick could walk me home, the 2 of us alone. There was no coming up to our place, no room for the visitors. But there were young folks meeting at the church basement for fiddling and dancing. Da agreed that I would go with 2 other lasses and meet Patrick there. It was only ever Patrick for me. No other lad ever looked at me the way he does. Respectful, wistful, wondering, all at the same time, like I'm somebody. When I look at Patrick, I know I can trust him with my life.
I had no hope in me of making something of myself. I looked around and saw nobody getting on anywhere. Toiling and suffering, for what? We could not have stayed in Ireland, but this, what is this? Da says it is much better than it was, but the orders still get the most meaningless jobs. The wall between the states, Dad says, give us some respect, as our brave lads fought hard. Still, the jobs are advertising. No Irish need apply, or Protestants only. But then I saw Bridget. I was asking round about her, and knew she worked as a maid in one of them big fancy houses. Her man has sewed the lace for the rich people. No lace like the Irish lace. On her face, Bridget's face, I'd fall asleep at night imagining her face beside me. I was planning it then. Bridget and I could marry. We could go west. Bridget, beautiful Bridget, with the long black hair. steady at the wire fencing factory. That cousin Sean said there was work for the Irish at the Ely Kalamazoo Railroad too. Either way, this is what Bridget and I want. If I have any chance at all, I'll make a good new life. We're planning it out already. One day, we'll have a place of our own, some land, the horses to work it, cow for milking, and babes too.
What's to be done? Bridget is Mary and Patrick, and Killian agreed when he asked for her hand. Ah, if they would only stay on in Boston. Patrick wants to follow Colin and Sean to the land out west in a place called Michigan. I fear that I may never see my dear Bridget again. She believes in Patrick when he says that working at the fencing will give them the means to save for a piece of their own land. Ah, dreaming of owning the land. The Irish know that means everything. Patrick wants a farm of his own, and with the horses. He is a strong man. And he will do it, I know. Otherwise, I could never part with my Bridget.
Young and the restless. Bridget and Patrick married. To the church basement, their families went for some fiddling, singing, celebrating, which always means dancing. The young couple had nowhere to stay that first night, so they boarded the train to Michigan.
The other were fresh and clean. The water from the well was pure and cold. The prejudice and hate we knew in Boston wasn't here in Michigan. The Irish weren't subservient to anyone. We finally had our own cabin. Alone, yes, but never lonely. It took some working and saving, but we had our own land. We'd grown up surrounded by too many people and too much dirt. We worked from sun up to sundown. I kept my promises to Bridget, the one that was most important to her. A babe took too long. It was 5 long years, and wee ones in the ground.
In Adrian, I found the work as a maid. Like in Boston, keeping quiet, anticipating the needs of others. It wasn't like Boston, though. People were kind, and I didn't feel like I was a servant, but I kept my place. My Patrick was true to his word and purchased a plot of land, a cow, the horses. He worked and worked. But the babes were stillborn and I did not know what to do. Patrick had me stop working as a maid and I sewed the lace again. Then, the new life taken in me was a sure thing. No more additions to the cemetery Patrick had created. We met our wee lass on a fine spring morning and we called her Patricia, our blue-eyed, curly-top Patty. Patrick was so proud. late in the summer, a sweltering night. I just laid on the supper when Patrick was yelling something fierce. I grabbed Patty from the quilt on the floor and ran to the barn. It was ablaze.
Run, Bridget, run! Run for help! Oh, God, save us! We're in the middle of nowhere. Where to go? The train trestle, Bridget! Someone will see you. Oh, the horses, our cow Flower, who we depend on, the wagon. Oh, my God, help me! There, my Bridget was running, carrying Patty in her arms.
I run with Patty. The blaze was getting bigger, and Patrick was leading Flower out. The train whistle. I run faster. Patty is crying. I climb up. It is so steep. Patty. Oh, no, there, Patty. I wave and wave. Is the train slowing? Stop! Help us! Help me!
I led the horses. Buster first, his eyes covered. Now then, our mare Tess. We can have another barn raising, but we need Tess and Buster. There were my Bridget with the babe on the tracks. The last I saw of them. I hear the train.
Patrick takes this risk to save Tess. It is the one he never lives to speak of. As Bridget and Patty are hit on the trestle, a cry of anguish and pain sounds from the barn. The barn roof collapses. Patrick was gone. Did Bridget trip? Did she stand in the middle of the track, willing the train to stop?
She walks this bridge in a long black veil. She looks for me when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me.
Sean and I saw the smoke coming from Patrick's farm. We rode as fast as we could. It was too late. We didn't find Patrick's body until the next morning. But Bridget and Patty, they were there at the bottom of the trestle. How could Bridget still be holding onto the baby? It didn't take long for strange things to happen on that bridge. I'd say people were making it all up if I hadn't known Bridget and Patrick. They had a fierce and powerful love. Don't you know that true love never dies? A love like theirs, the greatest force in the universe. There is no doubt that a love like theirs endures beyond the grave.
Oh, Lord, the mighty are ever,
Bridget and Patty? Is he walking those tracks, wanting to hold them yet one more time? Does he want to say that he never meant to have him be killed? To this day, people report seeing a man walking. He is in silhouette as he walks on summer evenings. They know he is Patrick. Patrick's spirit still walks those tracks. Sometimes people do hear a woman screaming and a babe crying. There is no explanation. But you know what happened. You know that Bridget screamed in fear and sadness. There are forces beyond which we can never, ever understand. There is love. A love like Bridget and Patrick's. This is the story of the Haunted Trestle Bridge in Adrian, Michigan. May Patrick and Bridget find each other and finally rest in peace. Please, pray for them.
Wow, thank you so much for being here today. We worked hard, and you were so gracious to clap between each monologue. We were not expecting that, but thank you. And we are the Border Troubadours. together for 5 years doing this, and we've had people move away, we've had someone sadly pass away, but there are a core of us that just keep on keeping on and love doing this, and we do it for you, and we hope that we always are, fun for you, entertaining for you, and that we provide a different thing all the time, that we're just